first we have clutch bearings. I go through these, I change them out often. There's a very simple way to tell if you need to change your bearing. I used to not understand what it meant when they said, you know, to feel if they're crunchy or whatever, but here's all you have to do. Just get them in your finger like this, put, you know, like your index finger, whatever, on the seal and just turn it, okay? And if you feel anything in there, it's gonna feel like a little gravel or something inside of there, you know, crunchy, then it needs to be replaced or cleaned. A new one, you're not gonna feel anything. It's gonna be very smooth, okay? So ideally, if you have a new bearing somewhere, go ahead and get a used one and a new one, do that little test. A used one that's been used, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, clutch bearings, I was out. And you know, I would say I change them probably every 15, 20 tanks, and that's because they need to be changed. So I don't change bearings just to change them, I change them because I do my tests, and if they need to be changed, out they go. ProTech bearings are okay. I just got these because I was on their website, Amines, and I wanted to get some, but I have recently become a fan of Mugen bearings, and I should say quality bearings specifically. But being out of clutch bearings kind of put me in a bad spot. So as an example, this Clock Nova OC285 for the Savage, I couldn't finish, you know, mounting the clutch. And you see, I'm beginning with the stock clutch. I got a new stock setup for it. I'm also going to run, you know, some aluminum, a Mugen, an M2C, and eventually Buku, but I'm sure as hell not going to put gritty clutch bearings on it. That's for damn sure. So these, and I probably got 4 or 5 other engines that need them. Next up, we have, oh, interesting, servo horn. So I mentioned in a recent unboxing that this OFNA clamp horn right here is my favorite servo horn. I've tried a lot of different servo horns, and it's my favorite. However, this Robotronic right here is probably the best servo horn on the market, one of the best. I have a few of them. You can see I run one here on this Truggy, which is a 24 spline because it's a high-tech 7955 servo. However, I needed a 25 spline count because this ProTech one that I'm running on my beloved Lucy 810 is actually starting to go out a little bit. So, you know, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna screw it. I'm gonna get the best. That's what I got. And unfortunately, the only color they have is red. I think that's the only colors I've seen. They might have like another one, but I'm not really so much into the colors per se. I'm just in, as long as it clamps and doesn't let go, that's all I care about. Just like I became a converted aluminum horn guy, now I'm a converted clamp aluminum horn guy because they have saved my ass many times. There have been many runs where afterwards the screw was not in there, but it was locked and loaded because of the clamping mechanism. So yeah, very, very good servo horn if anyone is looking for one. All right, next up I have the LiPo. I've actually got 2 of these. These are flat packs. And the reason for this is I'm transitioning a lot of my vehicles to high voltage servos. And I have seen the difference that 6 volts versus 7.4 volts make. Now the only downside here is that I have not done that well with LiPos. Here's one I got for the Savage, and you can see it's pretty obese now, and it doesn't work anymore. Now, interestingly enough, here's one that I use for my starter box, and the cells are unbalanced on it, but what I do is I actually charge it on an NIMH setting, and it works. In fact, the only LiPo I've had any form of success is this 11.1 volt one for the Lucy Mini 8. But anyways, I mean, I feel I go by the book, whatever, but I'll show you exactly why I like these. Here's my Mugen. It's got a 150T in it, and this is on a fully charged NIMH. And that's, you know, that's pretty impressive right there. That's, what, 345 ounces at 0.10 seconds on a fully charged NIMH battery. Now I'm going to put a half charged LiPo Fully charged will get me 426 at 0.08, but this is half charged. Let's see if there's a difference. Then we have the Thug here, my Hyper 7, which is rocking a 130T. At 6 volts, it's I think like 288 at 0.10 seconds. And this is a fully charged NIMH battery. So let's see what we got. Once again, not bad. You know, I mean, anytime you get a buggy at 288 at 0.10 seconds, hey, you're doing pretty damn good. However, let's do a half charged LiPo versus a fully charged NIMH one more time. Here's the 6 volt. All right. Yeah, there's a difference. And on top of that, we have weight savings. So this LiPo may actually look heavier because it's got the balancer and all of that, but let's see. Here's the NIMH. All right, 4 ounces. And then the LiPo, 3.10. That's almost a full effing ounce right there. That's a lot. All right, the final item I have in the box has to do with my Savage, and I can tell you this will be the last look anybody gets until I'm complete with the rebuild, and even then there's many things on here that we're going to be changing, but it is balls to the wall. I can tell you one thing, I'm not so much a monster truck guy, but I think that I know my Savage is going to be pretty badass. So our 4 modes, well, we have for all-around tire, these GT2s right here. For extreme jumping, these Terrapins. For off-road performance handling, Sweep square armors. For on-road wheelies, boy, I had some fault lines. Didn't like them too much, so I'm in the market for some. But what I've learned is anything that is similar, let's say, to like a city block, like right here, that kind of tread works well. And the final item that I have is going to be for extreme bashing. And I've decided on these right here, which are Proline Badlands. Now, I can tell you they're the ugliest looking tires I've ever seen in my life. I do have a buggy version of them, you can see. And they're good for grass and very loamy surfaces, very like soft type surfaces. So we mainly bash in construction sites and wherever, but we'll see how they turn out, how they work. Other than that, it's just all about making sure that you have the right tire choice for what you're doing. So I think what we have here is a pretty good selection. Of course, the one thing I'm missing is on-road, but that's coming soon. I just have to really think through that. The fault lines, like I said, they didn't work. They were horrible. All right, so that's gonna be it. Told you, probably the most boring unboxing in the history of videos, but hey, I guess a boring unboxing is better than no unboxing. I'll leave you with this. This hobby, Nitro RC, it is not for the faint of heart. He'll tell you. You gotta be in it to win it, man. And if I've learned one thing, it is quality over quantity. I see so many of these guys out there, and I call them bottom feeders or flatline bashers, meaning that they're happy just to have vehicles that run. And anything else is a bonus. Don't settle. Too many guys have just like 20 custom rigs. 20 custom rigs that run like shit. If that's what you're into, fine. If you just want it to look nice and that's it, hey, to each his own, right? That's what this hobby's about, is enjoying yourself. But for me, I've learned I don't think I can handle more than 7 vehicles at a time, because we run them hard, and I expect perfection out of each of them. Pretty soon here, you'll see what I'm talking about, exactly what I'm talking about, when I show you what I've done with our Savage. Until then, how about if you click right here to see a quick little, well, not a quick, a long video that's somewhat of a primer with respect to a new series that we're starting called Setup for Bashers. Otherwise, have a great night.